Space stuff, like I just said, Mars, and good for hobbyists, which I've already gone over. And here's a few things that's been used for in education, which may give you guys some ideas when you're teaching in the future. So cooking class, a cookie cutter mill, as you mentioned earlier. Geography class might make a map, like a topographical map. Automotive and engineering classes might make parts, such as these, moving parts. And chemistry, if anyone remembers chemistry, you'd have the model of the little balls of the molecule, stuff like that they could make. All right, so how do 3D printers work? Well, it basically comes down to 3 steps. You start with a 3D object. So, let's say a love heart, because I can't draw much. So you start with an object, then you have to slice it into layers, and then you print it. So those layers is actually what the 3D printer builds it up in, which you'll see soon. All right, demonstration time. Has anyone used a hot glue gun or a silicon gun?
Yes.
I'm sure you have, Andrew. Well, I've actually got one here. So basically a 3D printer is a hot glue gun or a silicon gun type thing. And it basically just moves around. You put the plastic in the top of it. Doesn't fit. And then basically melted plastic comes out the bottom. So, I don't know if everyone can see this. Here's a 3D printer that doesn't work. Basically, it's just a robotic arm that goes back and forth, side to side, back and forth, up and down. So it's basically just a glue gun on a robotic arm that melts plastic and just moves that plastic around. So I've gone over the hot glue gun, which is a good analogy of how they work. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's see a 3D printer in action.
Oh, this is so cool.
I'll get this going, and then I guess in a group of 3 or something at a time, you can just come and have a closer look. We just got to be careful with COVID. But I'll get it running, and then you can all just have a quick look. Let's hope it works. And I should have preheated the printer before I started the lesson. So that'll happen in a minute. All right, the parts of a 3D printer, we've sort of roughly gone over that. Here's sort of one that doesn't work yet. Basically, you've got a bed that goes back and forth. You've got a head that goes side to side, and this also goes up and down. You've got the print head, which is basically the hot glue gun. Sorry, if everyone can see that. Basically a hot glue gun, a thing that moves around, and it's got a little wire feed that sucks the plastic in. And it's got a fan that keeps it cool, and that's about it really. There's not much to them.
It looks super complicated.
It does. It does.
Well, it is simple once you understand it more in depth.
And once you've built one.
And once you build one,
Yeah,
I've built 2 now.
Once you've whipped one out.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Well, this isn't ready yet, so we're going to just put that part aside for 5 minutes. We'll go on to our practical part of the lesson. I want everyone to pick 2 3D printed parts. There's some up the front here and there's some down the back. Maybe just a couple of people at a time go to each spot, just keep your social distancing. It's hard, I know, but we'll just try our best. So pick 2 things and go back to your table. A couple at a time, just come over, have a close look. I know it's hard.
How long does it usually take to make a sentence?
So that might have taken 5 hours. It's quite slow.
Oh, 5 hours.
Yeah, it's very slow, but you can change how thick the layers
But
are.
yeah, that's quite dense. So
Yeah, so you can do really rough prints or you can do really detailed prints.
Is it growing? How does
Just
it know
depends.
growing something?
So I'll just go over safety again briefly. We hopefully all know where the emergency exits are. Go to either end of this hallway, down the stairs or out the door. The toilets are just down the end here. We don't have any 3D printers going in this lesson, so that won't be a problem. Just go over some COVID safety again. Again, if anyone has symptoms, please go home, see a doctor. Has everyone sanitised? I don't think anyone left, so we probably don't need to sanitise again.
I washed my hands.
Nothing's really changed in this room, so we don't need to wipe down equipment. Again, just try and keep your social distancing and no drinking from the water bubblers. I won't make another crack at Justine.
We're all thinking it.
Hopefully, by the end of this lesson, you'll be introduced to a new program called Tinkercad, which you can all see in front of you. So you'll be introduced to what it can do, what it can be used for. Again, we'll try and apply this to some real-world examples. And we're going to learn how to draw a basic object in 3D, a button. And hopefully at the end, or maybe in John's lesson it might be ready, the actual button that you drew will be a thing that you can take home. So in front of you, I've given you a couple of little buttons. That's kind of the idea what we're going for today. And in the booklet I've given you, there's some basic button instructions. I'm going to go through it soon, which I'm probably getting ahead of myself. So you can either follow along in the booklet or you can just watch my demonstration. So why is it good to know how to do all this? Well, a good thing for me is it's replaced a lot of things Bunnings sell. So now I hate going to Bunnings because mainly I had a car crash in Bunnings car park, so I try and avoid the place.
Sorry?
Bear with me. So instead of going to Bunnings now, I can just draw what I need, go watch TV for half an hour, and then the 3D printer makes it, which is kind of cool. Again, we'll get familiar with the new emerging technology. These skills could give you an advantage in your industry. These skills will also make you become more self-sufficient, so you can make your own buttons, fix your own clothes, make your own parts to fix things. You can take your hobbies and crafts to the next level. Good for small-scale home production, prototyping. Again, 3D printing is going to be huge in the future. So today, we're going to do a quick theory on how to draw in 3D. We're then going to do a hands-on practical of drawing something in 3D. I'm going to give a visual demonstration of how to do that, and then we'll have some reflection and recall questions in the end. So first we're going to start with a video. Quick summary of how the program works. I'm going to demonstrate quickly how to do it. I'm going to demonstrate more slowly with instruction how to draw the button. Then all you guys are going to have a go. So you'll be left on your own, but I'll go around the room and help everyone out, answer questions, all that kind of thing. So if it seems a bit full on at the moment, just bear with me. We'll get to all of that, and hopefully it'll make sense. I'm going to 3D print your designs and discuss about it later.
How do I stick a hole in it?
I'll get to that next. I'm just checking everyone has a shape.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's a buttonhole.
Oh, awesome. And then how do I copy
And
and
if you, just the same as Word,
duplicate?
Control-C, Control-V,
Oh.
and it should just duplicate it for you. Beautiful, Justine. We're all doing well. There you go, Mel. Yep, if you just click on that one that you've made, and then just Control-C to copy it, and Control-V to paste it. Now you've got two.
So Control-C, I've made the hole there.
Yep. I'll give you a good little tip.
Yep.
If you just, because it's a hole,
Yep.
it doesn't actually matter how tall it is.
Oh, okay.
You're on the right track though, but if you just make it,
Because you've got a fear then of making it not
if you
deep
just
enough,
make
haven't
it
you?
20,
Yeah.
no, it won't.
It'll
Just
do.
type in 20, please.
It'll go right through it. Yep.
Yep. So now it's just easier to see and move around. And because
yeah.
it's a hole, as long as it goes through that shape,
Yep.
it doesn't matter how big it is.
So how do I get the other one, mate? Sorry.
Just like you do in Word, Control Copy.
Click on it.
Yep. Click on it, yeah.
C.
And Control V. Now you've got two.
Okay.
Left click and drag over the two. Then if you go up to this little toolbar on the right, you can refer back to your laminated bit of paper. There's one there called a line. So if you select your two buttonholes and press a line, I hope everyone's with me.
No, because I haven't got my dimensions right on my buttonholes, but that's fine.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't?
This is our test button anyway. We're going to do
Okay.
another one
So
next if we don't run out of time.
one really big, okay, so
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? We're going left click.
Click and just grab both of them.
Okay, so go
Yeah,
like
just
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And we're going to go up to a line, which is on your bit of paper if you're on the other side, if you're just wondering. We've now got a button with 2 holes in it, pretty much. Well, if you want to get technical, you can select all of that now and do the alignment thing again.
Okay, so
And that'll put your holes in the dead centre of your shape. It doesn't. If you don't want to do that, you can just drag them and drop them and be done.
so align was that little thing.
Yep.
Yep. So did I do that then?
You just click.
And then go the two
the
centres
crease now.
to make sure that it's.
And now that's perfectly lined up.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's cool.
So we're all gotten there.
Yeah.
And then if you select all of that and hit group again,
Oh, and it's one.
you'll end up with a button with 2 holes in it.
How do I know they're in the middle, Steve?
You'll see it.
Yep.
Not black, that means that's where it is.
And grouped it?
So if you click on the other centre,
Yeah. Oh,
so now
oh
it's
yeah.
centred and centred.
And they're in there now.
And if you click off, then select all that.
That's amazing.
All that
And
together.
then roll it around.
So it's gonna be-
Does that
One
look?
thing, one button,
Wow.
2 holes. Beautiful, Mel.
Days.
Beautiful. Okay, so that's the basics of how to make a button. We're getting a bit behind, but now you can make any button you want, any shape, any.
Oh, I love hearts. I didn't even see
What-
that.
So, if you don't want to draw your own stuff to 3D print, there's websites like this one called Thingiverse.com. And as you can see here, there's some buttons that other people have drawn. So if you don't want to draw your own stuff, you can just go on here, type in their search thing like Google, and it'll come up with a full list of things that are already made by someone else. So, you know, all these things we saw earlier, I haven't drawn all of those. Some of those I've just gotten off the internet. So you don't have to draw your own stuff. Exactly.
So
there you
someone
go.
else has drawn
Heaps of
this
things. like-
and designed
Yeah,
the file,
like
yeah,
that,
so
yeah.
they've drawn it, yeah. They
Yeah.
haven't just copied and pasted it.
Yeah, they've just drawn it themselves. And there's all sorts of things you can imagine.
That's amazing. That makes this even more.
So,
Appealing.
name some options in Tinkercad. What are some buttons you've just clicked on, some things you've just done?
Joining together, group,
Grouping.
line,
Online,
You've been able
beautiful.
to turn things like, you know,
Rotate.
Yeah.
What else?
holes.
Hole. Justine, what have you done?
Now holes.
And you made your own name. So that's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, 3D done. That's actually quite cool. Actually, I wouldn't mind my own letter of my name.
You could do that.
That would be cool.
All right.
Named that like that.
Tinkercad, pardon me, Tinkercad can be used for 3D printing. What else can it be used for?
Designing?
Yes, but in that video of that weird accented guy, what did he say you could do with it?
Everything.
Well, everything. That's not a wrong answer.
Can I get out of the computer?
You can also laser cut.
Yeah,
That's another thing. So you can draw something in that, send it to a laser cutter, and they'll cut it for you. Where can you find already drawn things on the internet?
Thingiverse.
Oh, that
Google?
program you
Thingiverse?
just had
Google as well. Yeah, but there's heaps of stuff online. Tell me something you can make from your industry now that you know these skills.
Oh, so many
It's
things.
pretty obvious for you.
Yeah, well, like buttons, fastenings,
Yeah.
hooks and eyes. You could do
Yep.
all those sorts of things.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Look at you.
Well, look, I'd love to
Jared,
have clips up on our wall in our office, so we can
Yep.
put all of our instruments and everything up there that we